four, three, two, one, go!
Yo, good evening, good people. Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. And you've got the super team of sports talk here with y'all. I'm one half of it, Diego Barishnikov, the Black Dominican Russian. And I'm here checking in, as always, with my main man, my partner in crime. They call him the 6 foot and under post-up champ. Tell these people who you are.
What's good, good people? It's your boy, Uncle Hate, the other A in AA Sports, broadcasting live here on a Wednesday. I'm here to break it all down. Basketball, a little bit of football, do what we do. It's good, homie.
Yeah, man, everything is good. I can't complain. Would have been a sad show, but Duke lost, so everything is okay.
Man, didn't that shit work out? See how God be looking out for us? I ain't even feel bad Sunday no more. I was good.
Yeah, after Carolina lost, I was like, ain't this some bullshit? But, you know.
I was 38 on Friday. 38. But,
Once them suckers lose, then hey, you know it's all good.
Right with the world,
you know. And now I can fully root for Zion. She's not a Dookie no more, so you know Absolutely. How that goes. All right, good people. We appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching as always. If you watch on the YouTube channel, continue to do that. Watch, like, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the share button. Make sure you put us on your timelines as well. And then if you listen to us on the go on this podcast platform, whether it be Apple, iTunes, or Spreaker, continue to do so there as well. We appreciate the ratings and the comments that you guys are giving us there. Good love, good love. We definitely appreciate y'all tuning in to us every week whenever you get a chance to. Before we start the show, before we even get into something like the news, I guess we could put it at the top of something like the news. But before we get into the ignorant piece, like we always do, you know, and we want to send our condolences to Nipsey Hussle, Lauren London, you know, them kids, that man's family, anybody affected out there in the Crenshaw-Slauson community by his death. Crazy shit, man, crazy shit. I'm not even gonna touch on the conspiracy theories and all of that shit because I ain't here for that because
I'm not here for that either.
I got a little perturbed Sunday when it happened 5 minutes after that man was dead. All of this, you know, conspiracy theories and this side arguing this side arguing that. Everybody just want to be fucking right, and I thought that was to a degree a little bit disrespectful, honestly. But you know, that's neither here nor there, man. But it's
disrespectful. But I think the thing about it. Why can't we always as a people looking at somebody else to point the blame at instead of ourselves? You know, somebody who looked just like him from his community killed him. And y'all gonna turn around and put it on the government? I mean, come on. Right.
And I can go on and on about, I'm not saying that the government don't bullshit like that, but there's a lot of reasons. Again, we ain't got time to go into it tonight, and I'm not gonna go into it. But there's a lot of reasons why I don't think that was the cause of it.
No, absolutely not.
But again, you know, we're in a culture where, you know, things that are happening to black people and black, you know, African Americans these days, it's a sensitive topic, you know, and unfortunately we ride a lot of ways before really getting a lot of facts and intel on stuff. So that's unfortunate, but again, that's neither here nor there. I want to give a shout out to Nipsey, man. Everything that he did in the community, you know, a lot of people, you know, say they about this, say they about that, but that man was doing a lot of things out there in that community. He had bought damn near half or the whole block from where he was from my understanding. Had several businesses, providing jobs, all kind of stuff. And I saw today that the reason that he was even up there was one of his homies that had, you know, been locked up for quite a while, had got out, and he was up at the store to hook homie up with some clothes and some gear to get him straight. That was the only reason that he was up at the store. And he decided not to call security. You know, he just, you know, jetted up there real quick, whoop-de-whoop, and then, you know, next thing you know, that shit goes down like that. So, you know, it is what it is.
My last thing on it real quick, you know, celebrities, well, black folks who are attempting to do something with their lives are in a tough position because when they leave, they ain't keeping it real. But when they stay, this type of shit happens.
It's
you know, we
always.
gotta take care of our own house at this point. I ain't even looking at another race. We gotta take care of our own house. Start looking in the mirror, looking at ourselves, because this shit shouldn't have happened. All I hear is positive, good energy. Nothing about this cat was just out of the way, you know. So we gotta take care of our own house for real.
Yeah. And that's before you even get to the music. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Dude was about way more, you know what I'm saying, than music. You know, it's crazy, man. You know, it's sad. You know, so we're gonna yeah, absolutely. It's a red glass. I ain't got a blue one, but you know, the sentiment remains
he was
the same.
about that, you know, trying to keep peace with that situation. He's a good dude, man.
Absolutely. All right, people. So, all right, now to what y'all used to when y'all listen, when y'all tune in to AA Sports.
And
I got my
breaking news. Diego has homework tonight.
I got my homework tonight. It's almost the end of the year. They told me I couldn't go to prom unless I got my homework. So I'm trying to catch up for the whole semester in one night. So we're going to see how this goes. All right, we're going to start this off. And I don't have anything positive for y'all people. I'm sorry. This is all stupidity tonight. All stupidity.
Be like that sometimes, cuz.
It really does be like that. All right, so first up, I don't know if you saw this story. I got this one from Rob Littell over there at Black Online Sports at BSO. Shout out to Rob. He always got some crazy shit on his timeline. I pulled this one this morning. A Colombian customs officer was taking money on the side, making millions of dollars, smuggling, helping people, you know, letting people smuggle illegal stuff into the country, in and out of the country, right? He was taking the money, sending it to his daughter, which goes to went to the University of Miami, to hide the money. So, you know, she's in the States hiding the money. He sending it up from Colombia. Baby girl wasn't too smart, though. Baby girl out here flossing on Instagram, Gucci, Chanel, Prada, any kind of name brand shit you can name, extravagant trips to Paris, Europe. Well, those are kind of the same places, but you get what I'm saying. Ride everywhere, right?
Yeah.
The thing that broke the what's the saying? The straw that brought the camel's back.
Yeah.
Baby girl went out and brought a bright candy apple red Lamborghini.
Oh, wow.
300 racks. So this tips people off. Okay, you in college, your daddy make they said $3,000 a month maybe, doing what he does over in Colombia, and you already stunting like this. Long story short, it opened our law enforcement and officials' eyes. They actually figured out what was going on. She got kicked out of school. She back in Colombia on house arrest. The whole family got locked up. He done lost his job. And they are probably about to do some serious time.
I'm about to ask an ignorant question.
What's that?
She's fine, wasn't she?
She's cute.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She ain't ugly, but she ain't your average IG model. I'll put it like that.
Okay, gotcha. You know, I was thinking that when you talking about she's stunting. So
But the moral of the story, and this, I can't really, I can say it. It goes to a lot of the younger people, but people always do it sometimes too. Why do y'all have to post everything? That's what got caught up. Why are you posting everything? You got to be smarter. You got to move smarter, man. Because when you get in trouble, the first thing people, at least law enforcement people, looking at your social media to see what the hell's going on.
They use that social media, and what did Stringer tell Marlo? That Benz you riding out there, that's what they're gonna use to get you with your purchases, your bread. So you better, young people. Now her dad got to go do real time. It ain't like these American jails. They be like, that's nothing. That's real time over there.
You already know. You already know it. Next story. This dummy. This is two dummies. This is a story out of Arkansas. All right. You ever? We've been younger. And you know how sometimes when you're young and you hang around older cats, you either do some things to try to impress them, or you let them talk you into doing dumb shit, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we got two cats out in Arkansas. We got 50-year-old Charles Ferris and 36-year-old Christopher Hicks, right? Charles, the 50-year-old, him and Chris sitting on the patio or whatever, they drinking. Charles decides that it was a good idea to pull out a 22 caliber rifle, put on a bulletproof vest, and tell Chris, the younger cat, to shoot him. Just because he got on the vest, he want to see how it feels. So Chris
they just watched the Boondocks, basically. Because that happened on the episode of the Boondocks.
Right. So Chris shoots Charles, and, gave him a little sting or whatever. So he's like, well, let me try it on you now.
Oh, no.
So Chris is like, okay. So he puts on the vest, but Charles lights his ass up. He empties the clip on him, shoots him in the back and a couple other places. Now, luckily, neither one of these idiots died. But long story short, they both got charged with aggravated assault.
That's not the wave right there.
Man,
I mean, we done did some dumb shit back in our time, but that right there, nah. That
one kind of takes the cake right there. That's some next level shit right there. That's next level. All right, I got two more before we get into the good. All right, now we're gonna travel down to the state of Florida. Always some ignorant shit going on down there.
Yes, sir.
All right. So first Florida man is locked up, and he is charged with domestic battery by strangulation and aggravated battery on a victim over 65 years old, because this idiot attacked his 73-year-old mama and beat her up.
What the fuck?
All because she would not put clothes on his mannequin.
Huh?
I don't know why he's got a mannequin. he's got a fucking mannequin. He's out in the yard with the mannequin. Miss Lady come home and he's like, yo, Ma, help me put the clothes on the mannequin. And she like, hell no, I'm not, no. So he gets mad, blocks the doorway. She takes the mannequin, throws that shit off in the yard somewhere, broke it and breaks it or whatever. So then he attacked her, hit her in the face and caused some other bodily injuries to her, all because she wouldn't help him put the clothes on the goddamn mannequin. First thing I thought, right? Oh yeah, another one of these old cats at the crib,
staying at home.
You know what I'm saying? First thing I thought of was meth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, one of the other. This is sad, but this is what kind of make the story funny. So this is exactly what he did to her. He pushed her to the ground, hit her in the head with a wooden stool.
Damn.
And stuffed chicken and dumplings into her mouth, causing her difficulty to breathe.
Damn. Your own mama?
His own mama. All because she wouldn't help him put clothes on the mannequin, dog.
Move out your mama's house, grown people. How many weeks we got to say this shit? Damn.
Hey, dog, times is hard out here, man. Times is hard out here.
I mean, if you're going to go back, hey, I'm with that. If you got to sit there and work or whatever, work with your family. But damn, don't be trying to fight your mama.
Yeah, exactly.
That can't just be wild. Hey.
Wild for the night. Speaking of times being hard, times is going to be real hard for this next gentleman. Another Florida man, this time in Gainesville. Julius, and ironically, I ain't even picked this up when I saw the story earlier. Ironically, his name is Julius Irvin, 32, out of Gainesville. This fool got into a fight with a female coworker around midnight at the Krispy Kreme store that they work at over how to make the goddamn donuts. Now, Krispy Kreme been around for how many decades? I think it's a pretty set recipe. It's pretty much made the same way every time. So I'm not sure what the hell that they were fighting about. But they got into a fight or whatever. Now, I'm not clear on whether it was verbal or actually physical. But when it was time for a girl to get off work, she had to call her boyfriend to come pick her up from work. So when Buddy came to pick her up from work, he confronted Julius about the altercation. And so they get the tussling. They get the fighting. Julius, I'm sorry, let me back up. They get the fighting. The girl's boyfriend, he done. He trying to walk away and go ahead to the house. Julius wasn't finished. Julius proceeds to pull out a 4-inch pocket knife that he had on him and get the sticking button. Stuck him 4 times. 2 in the chest, 1 in the leg, and I think another one in the hip or somewhere. So now his ass is in jail.
Over some shit you don't even own.
Krispy Kreme is like crack, but damn, buddy.
you don't own the store. Wasn't like she was telling you. Y'all gotta do better, people. Y'all gotta do better. Okay, that's all you got.
That's it, man. I think that's enough ignorance on my part for tonight.
Yeah. You see, 45 said they gonna check into this whole thing with old boy from Empire. That shit ain't over with, cause they gonna see about that with him. Hey,
More taxpayer money going to waste.
more taxpayer money. That's all. I can't think of nothing else. Let's get to work.
All right, people, let's get on into it. Again, that was something like the news, our entertainment segment
Shout
of the
out
show.
to Diego for having homework.
Hey, there it is. There it
college,
is.
man. You coming through at the end of the semester. Shout out to you.
Hey, always, man. I work better under pressure. Now, next week, hey, don't be expecting much. Don't be expecting much next week. It's going to get hot outside, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to get hot.
Yeah, you know what that means.
You already know. Already know. So we're going to get on into it, man. Of course, we're going to touch on the Final Four here in a minute, people. We're going to go over a lot of college stuff tonight because college basketball season is actually winding down. We're going to talk about the one and done rule, college coaches, things of that nature. And then also we're going to get up on this NBA, man. Season's, I think, about a week from being over, if that.
Playoffs start like a week, cuz.
Yeah.
Week and some change.
Yeah, so we're going to look into that, and then we're going to look into the brand new football league that is now in expired football league pretty much. So we're going to get into the trials and the tribulations of the AAF. But that'll be a little bit later on. So let's get right on into it, man. Y'all know we're going to start it off with the Final Four. No Blue Bloods in the Final Four, thanks to Auburn. Auburn knocked off.
They won't die, cuz.
Auburn knocked off Kansas, North Carolina, and Kentucky to reach the Final Four. Michigan State knocked off Duke, which was a lot of people's favorite. And then who else? We got Texas Tech, and we also have Virginia. Virginia finally made it to a Final Four. They finally got over the hump. So they'll be facing Auburn in one semifinal, and then Michigan State will be facing Texas Tech in the other.
I know that, the tournament is about the surprise and anybody can win, but the network can't be excited about this, can they? They're like no Blue Bloods. Yeah,
this particular Final Four probably won't bring your casual fan to the table. It's going to bring the fan bases of these teams and your diehard basketball fans. But outside of that, yeah, you don't have Duke there to hate. Like I said, we ain't got Kentucky, we ain't got Carolina.
It's technically 3 football schools because we can count Michigan State as a football school, can't we? Like half and half.
I mean, they're a little decent at both basketball and football.
Yeah. So basically 2 football schools, 1 middle of the road school, and a definite basketball school who ain't really been like legit relevant since Ralph Sampson. Oh, young people, look them up. You got to Google them, but look them up.
Right. But, talking about Virginia.
Yeah. But I mean, it's dope in regards to the competition of it, but I wonder what the ratings are going to be like this weekend. I wonder.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to break any records or anything like that. So
hell no.
We'll see how that fall out. I mean, Auburn's is getting a lot of support right now because they knocked off who they knocked off to get there. You got Bruce Pearl, which is an animated kind of guy character. I like him. So you got him, but outside of that, you're not going. You got Tom Izzo, and then you got Texas Tech, which a lot of people don't know really much about, but they do have an NBA-rated guy, Jared Culver there.
Yes, sir.
They play good defense. I haven't watched much of them this season myself, but I watched enough of them in the tournament to see that they're a pretty formidable team. I think at the end of the day, in the first semifinal, I think I forget his name. The guy that tore his ACL for Auburn, I can't pronounce his name.
I know you're talking about though.
Okay, yeah. I think him being out is going to hurt Auburn. And I think Virginia actually will finally get to the championship game. They play really great defense. So I don't think Auburn will be able to bomb all those 3-pointers like they've been bombing on some of these other teams.
Like us, because we wouldn't guard them on Friday at all. That
was my only concern coming into the tournament was our 3-point shooting, because we hadn't been shooting the 3-point well over the last couple of weeks. And then our 3-point defense has been atrocious all season. And both things came back to bite us.
Effort is legit free. Because we weren't trying to guard them on Friday. We weren't trying to.
Yeah.
No rotations. We wouldn't board. Nothing.
Right.
made them cats look invincible. Now, Kentucky played them a bit harder on Sunday. They got heart, but we made them look like world beaters because we would not guard them. We just refused.
Right.
Sorry, I had to get that out. I'm still feeling
I feel you. You know, not to give them a pass or give it an excuse, but we know Nasir Little had the flu or whatever.
Yeah.
Now during the game, they said Cam Johnson had the shit too.
Mm-hmm.
Cam, he looked lethargic. You know, he wasn't aggressive at all. But I wonder if any of the rest of them was feeling the type of way, or were they actually had a mental letdown. I think if out of 10 games we'll beat Auburn 9 times, but that's the beauty of the NCAA tournament is that it only takes one. It's, you know what I'm saying, it's one and done. But yeah, I didn't care for the way that we played. So, you know, the way that we played, we deserve to lose. But enough about us because we're not identified for.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent with that.
No,
I mean,
somebody had to get it in.
We both consider Izzo to be the best one right now.
Yeah, out of these coaches, yeah. I think Izzo and then at Virginia.
Bennett.
Bennett. Yeah. I think it's going to be Virginia and Michigan State in the final. And I think that
Virginia does defend. They absolutely do. They're not going to let them boys get them wide open threes.
Talking about Auburn?
Yeah, they're not going to let Auburn get all them wide open threes on them.
Yeah, I think Virginia beats Auburn and Michigan State beats Texas Tech. And I'm gonna take Virginia in a close one.
Oh shit!
In the final.
I'm not gonna bet against Izzo. How many does he have? 2?
2, maybe 3.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
I mean, he's already like legit at the table. He get one more. He's like, yeah.
Tom Izzo a great coach, man. I mean, you know, people gave him flack a couple of weeks ago, you know, about the, you know, yelling at the player incident.
I ain't see shit wrong with it.
Hey, you know, that's kind of how shit goes the way we was coming up. So, hey, I didn't really see a problem with it. The player didn't seem to have a problem with it. He was barking back at him. I didn't hear the boy's parents say anything. I didn't hear any other players say anything. So, you know, I prefer, you know, so I got little Diego coming up, and if he plays sports at some point, I want a coach that's going to be hard-nosed and hard on him when it needs to be, not a jerk, you know what I'm saying? But I'd rather have a coach like that you got to maybe dial back a little bit than one of these soft coaches where they're not really getting the most out of their player, you know, rubbing them on the back. Oh, it's going to be okay. Nah, sometimes you got to chew into their ass.
All right, 100. All right, we're about to transition out of this. I'm gonna take. Give me Auburn. I'm gonna ride that wave, and Michigan State, and I'm gonna take Michigan State for the win. But I'm gonna raise a glass to you because I was playing scared last week. I want to take Michigan State, but you took them. And I said it on the show. I felt like they could win that game, but I was being a hoe. I should have took them in that game.
Well, that's harsh.
They got grown men, and they always find a way. And you think about it. All the pundits, everybody, the Zion Cam, they're going to go through it. Man, them grown men on Michigan State. Tom Izzo, he graduates grown men with degrees. They was ready for that boy. They saw him.
Absolutely. That was one. And I picked them in my bracket that I picked in Glass Pick'em League. What's up, Glass? But I had Michigan State beating Duke just for the simple fact because of the bigs. They had enough bigs to, slow Zion down. Now, I think there was some times late in that game, the big that came off the bench, I can't think of his name, but he missed like 3 or 4 bunnies right at the rim where the game really didn't have to be as close as it was. But they had enough between him and the other light-skinned cat to be able to kind of hold Zion in check, so to speak.
Yeah.
I always, every year, you'll see in my bracket, you'll see I have a Michigan State team going at least to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 pretty much every year because of Tom Izzo, because of their history. That's
what he does. I mean, and he should get credit for graduating these cats. He really should get credit for that, because everybody ain't going to the NBA. Spoiler alert, everybody ain't going. So at least these cats have options outside of that, at least. But I forgot to put it on here, but I want to talk about it in a second. We can go into Duke now. Gilbert Arenas' comments on Zion. Did you see him?
I didn't.
Okay, he was talking about he was concerned about his game going to the pros. Said he doesn't post, he doesn't shoot. Those are legit concerns, but I honestly think the young man's gonna be all right. So we can segue into all right, Duke this season. They had 3 of the top 5 players coming out of this class. Do we consider this season a disappointment? I mean, I don't want them to win. I guess it's kind of hard for us to ask that to each other because we don't like them. But in being rational about it, 3 of the top 5.
I don't think it's a disappointment. Just for the simple fact that, and I think we pulled numbers and we'll probably get into this. The one and dones don't equate to titles.
They don't.
I pulled it, and we've got, since the one and done rule came into effect, we got 2 people. Two teams. That's Kentucky 2012 and Duke in 2015, where at least the core, you know what I'm saying, Kentucky had AD, Booker, Bledsoe, Duke had Kid Gilchrist he was on that team. And then that Duke team had Justice Winslow, Okafor, Tyus Jones. The one and done players, those are the only 2 titles where the one and dones have taken the team to a title. Now, Carolina won in 2017. Tony Bradley ended up being a one and done, but he was not like a high recruit coming in that you expected to be a one and done. And then he was a big piece of what we did, but he was more of a role player because
he was playing behind Bryce and what's the big
Kennedy Meeks.
Isaiah was there too, wasn't he?
Isaiah Hicks. Yeah. He was there too. So Tony Bradley was a freshman, but we didn't think he was going to go pro, but he surprised everybody when he went pro. I haven't seen him since. But
he dominating the LA Fitness in Des Moines, Idaho right now.
Hey, man.
Dominating.
Shannon Frost said he got LA Fitness on lock.
Well, see him at 35 and 6'11". See him at LA Fitness. Get your feelings hurt, people. But I kind of got that segued into what all this college basketball talk. That's 100 what you're saying though, because you got to have a team. That one and done stuff don't always equate, because I mentioned Melo, but you were right. That was before the rule. He was a one and done star, but everybody couldn't go then. So it really doesn't equate. Wasn't that last year before last, we were on here talking about how Cal gonna get you paid, but Kentucky ain't winning no titles.
Yeah, he's got one. And Cal has said it. I forgot which one of those documentary series it was on. He's like, look, I'm here to get guys to the NBA. The NCAA don't like it. A lot of people outside of Kentucky may not like it, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here to set these boys up, set these kids up, to get long-term, whether it's a shoe contract or NBA deal, to set their families up. I'm looking long-term. I want to win. I want to win titles as well. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, if you manage it right, don't try to take care of everybody. Absolutely. But with the one and dones, when you have, like in Duke's case, you have not 3, but you have 4 freshmen when you throw point guard Jones in there, along with Cam, RJ, and Zion. You can't have those kind of young guys try to lead you all the way. I don't think the closest we've seen outside of those one and done teams that we talked about. I mean, Michigan Fab 5. Back in that era. Well, they didn't even get to the Final Four as freshmen, though. Now that I think about it.
Nah, they did actually.
They did they?
Freshman and sophomore year.
They got there both years. You're right.
They played for the title both of them years.
That's right. But in this day and age, college basketball is a lot more spread out. It's a lot more parity, as they like to say. It's hard.
All of that. It ain't about just you can see people from all over. Mid-majors are getting real ballers now, so it's not what it was. It's really not.
And when you look at the last couple of teams. This year I picked Virginia. You picked Michigan State to take it home. Both of those are junior, senior laden teams. Last year you had Villanova. They had a lot of older cats. When Carolina won, we had a lot of older cats. The team that beat Carolina the year before that, Villanova, a lot of older cats on that team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, take it back to when we were kids. We go to the gym to hoop. We weren't beating them teams of grown men grabbing and pushing us, and it wasn't happening.
Right. You know what I'm saying? We get our scoring early. You know, if we're going to 20, you know, we might get out 10, 8 or something like that. But then them grown men put hands on you. And then next thing you know, it's point to 14.
Mm-hmm.
You know, game is a wrap. You know, and that's just how it go. But I think most of these boys are going to be all right. We know Zion's going to be the number 1 pick. He ain't declared yet. We don't even need a press release for that.
No, we don't. RJ
we don't need,
either.
No, not him. Cam Reddish either. Cam Reddish, out of all of these.
I asked you about him. Yeah. Was he hurt? Was he hurt Sunday? Because I heard he might have had a knee, but
he didn't play the Elite Eight game at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know what happened to his knee, but he didn't play at all in the Elite Eight game. You know, he has had multiple games this year where he's pretty much forgotten about. Because if you got Zion scoring 30, you got RJ scoring 25 or 30, it ain't really many more opportunities around. And he was a lost afterthought in a lot of these games.
It's hard being that third option. People need to show love to that. It's really hard. Because RJ's getting his shots up. Hella high water.
Yeah.
RJ getting his shots up.
Exactly.
I ain't gotta wait for RJ to get his up. So
And the thing I like about Zion is he's efficient with his touches. Yes, he don't waste touches. I got some questions, you know, like I did at the beginning of the season, as far as his long range shooting. Yeah, he got better at the 3-point shot as the season went along, but that's a college 3. The NBA 3 is a little bit farther out, so we're gonna see how that goes.
Good point.
And then, you know, if he's gonna be playing the 4 or 5 position, he's only 6'7". He's listed at that to
you. What do you see him in the pros, cuz?
That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if he can be a 3.
It's like he's not quick enough to be a 3, but I don't think he's big enough to be a 4. He's like a legit tweener. But Larry Johnson was a tweener.
So we got to bring out that old term, the tweener.
Yeah.
He'll be able to make an impact. You know, it's just in what aspect I don't know. I still think he's gonna have to at some point lose some weight because his knees are not gonna hold up trying to jump out of the gym every time. You know what I'm saying?
Pounds.
Yeah, that's just simply not gonna work. So I think he will because you know we look at LeBron. LeBron had gotten up to like 270, 275, and then he went in the gym that summer and lost all that weight. Remember, he came back skinny as hell after that one.
That's because he stopped taking that shit that summer.
What you think we all over the place. What you think LeBron gonna do this summer? He got a whole summer to shoot that shit up.
Hey, what J. Cole say? He making a list. He writing down names. But in regards to Zion and LeBron, that's a good point you just made. But the big difference with that, LeBron got like 3 more inches to spread his 270 out. Right. Zion don't at 6'6", but he has long arms, and I think he's gonna be solid. Long as he keeps shooting, he's going to be solid. But I mean, he's 19 maybe, so maybe the way to fall off, maybe. But I like the kid, man. He plays defense. You know, like you said, he don't need the ball. He's playing with a ball hog. Never complained. You know, I think he'll be okay. I'm not in that majority that's gonna sit there and try to tear the boy's game apart. People, if people are comparing him to Blake Griffin, look at Blake Griffin when he got drafted to Blake Griffin now. Blake Griffin's shooting threes, and they're going in. You know, so you're gonna get better. Hell, if he's Sean Kemp, before he ate himself out the league, Sean Kemp was solid for 10 years?
Yeah, absolutely,
absolutely. I don't see that problem.
Yeah, and he seems like a good kid. So I think he'll be just fine. Like I said, people are picking this game apart, but I actually liked a lot of what I seen out of him as he progressed throughout the season. Like I said, coming in, I was like, look, y'all can be high on him as you want to. I need to see more than YouTube dunks over what was apparent was obviously inferior high school talent. So I he's checked a lot of boxes for me. He's checked a lot of boxes.
My dude, he didn't have to come back when he hurt his knee. He didn't have to come back. No. He could have easily dragged that. So that showed me a lot right there, that he was a team guy. So
Well, he wanted that title too. He wanted that
Yeah.
title too. He wanted that title too.
That would have looked good on his resume, but a lot of these cats nowadays, man, they ain't putting no team first. They, I'm hurt, I'm out.
Yeah.
So
before we tighten up and move on from that, I heard this question somewhere. I wanted to ask you. Out of all-time Duke players, a lot of people ranking him the best.
That's a lie.
I can't do it.
I can't.
Okay? You played one season. You was hurt a little bit toward the end, and no championship. Now he'll probably win Player of the Year. I saw he won Freshman of the Year and another award today. But I can't put him best Duke player of all time.
Hell
to me,
no.
That's Grant Hill all day, followed by probably Christian Laettner.
Carlos Boozer was good. Elton Brand was good.
Yeah.
Trajan Langdon was good. Jay Williams. I hate them, but they can hoop.
Yeah, when we start talking about top 3 or 5, though, I'm gonna put Jay Williams up there.
Yes.
Trajan Langdon was good, but I'm gonna put him toward the back.
We're talking about in general, but if you're talking top 3, Jay might be third.
For me, he is, and I'm putting him, Grant Hill, and Christian Laettner up there because they won titles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they were there multiple years. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I can't put Zion number 1, but just like we said last week when people were saying Gronk is the best tight end of all time, we're looking at
focusing on errors instead of all time, just the era.
Yeah, because it's hard to compare.
Elton Brand was a problem at Duke.
Absolutely, he's a thorn in our side.
Yeah, so Duke's getting pros now. They're not just doing the 3 to 4 year guys that are gonna stay there forever. They're getting legit pros. But they lost Sunday. That's all that matters. Was that Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. All right.
Yes.
You kind of went into it already, but I guess we can skip this. Well, this Coach Cal thing. Now the numbers look good in regards to what they've done, but if you're getting top 5 classes every year at Kentucky, every year. He's won 305 games since being there, but they got 1 title. We talked about this before. It's like he's getting ballers, but Cal doesn't construct teams. And that goes a long way. You have to construct a team, not just superstars. But they're locked in now at this point.
Which is true. But look at this as well. He was only got 1. But since 2009 at least, when did Cal get to Kentucky?
Around about that time.
Okay. At least since then, we'll just say from 2009. Carolina only got 2. Duke only got 2. Villanova has 2. UConn's got 2. Louisville got 1. It's got the asterisk by it.
Well, you did your homework for real this week.
But college it's always a different college team. So, and he's made a couple Elite 8 runs. Matter of fact, I won't say they lost to us in the Elite 8 when we won the title 2017. So he's made a few deep runs. But I think he's gonna be be there for a while because they gave him a lifetime contract.
Oh yeah,
right?
He's good. He secured the bag. So it's if you're Kentucky. That would have been extremely rash to sit there and say, well, we ain't winning titles. We're going to get rid of them. That's kind of the trade-off. He's bringing players in. You're relevant. You're on TV every week. You're a blue blood organization. Well, I said organization. It's supposed to be a school.
No, but you said it right, though.
It's the truth, though. Right. He's bringing cats in. He's getting them paid. But do you think he gets another one?
Oh, I think eventually, he will. It'll at some point it'll roll over and it'll be his time. We'll see how it goes with the cats that he got there now. How many of them leave? Let's just say they bring that. Let's say they bring that team back.
And you think
or
about
at least a good majority of them.
You remember he finished run up for Zion. He was mad as hell about that. He thought he was gonna get him.
And the team they had last year was pretty good. Well, with Kevin Knox,
that was the only issue. They ain't had no shooting.
Right, but I think he'll get one. I think he'll get another one eventually. This is where I was trying to go with the last comment.
Go ahead.
Do you think that Cal gets more flack than any of the other coaches for the one and done?
Yeah, because he's like the face of it.
Winning, right?
He's the face of it.
Right.
And if we're honest, like you just said, Duke won one. They get one and dones every year. Every year since the last 5-6 years, give or take. They got
when
one.
when they start dropping off the bag.
Yeah, and you know they paying. You can't tell me otherwise. You got 3 of the top 5 players on one team, but these cats ain't trying to compete no more. I ain't trying to sit the bench, but at this point, if you going first round either way,
you might as well. Yeah, you might as well load up and try to win the title.
Right? Why not? Look good on your resume. But they ain't had no choice with that, because I want to say UCLA had $48 million for him, so they kind of had to ante up to keep him.
Now, I didn't look at like the terms of the quote unquote lifetime deal. I'm pretty sure they can fire him if they need to fire him or whatever. But
they just got to pay him forever. I mean, basically, his original contract runs through 2024.
Right, so he was already Gucci.
He was already good. So essentially, once that's done, because I didn't know he was 60 years old. He just basically gets to go out and speak on Kentucky's behalf. Get a bag forever.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, so that okay. All right, gotcha. So kind of like LeBron's lifetime deal with Nike.
Right.
Even after he stopped playing, he'll still be doing things for them and still getting paid.
Right. Gotcha. Absolutely. All right. I was thinking about this earlier this week, and I kind of felt like it might have been a silly question, but at the same time, is it harder to coach college in your eyes or the NBA? Because it seems like with this tournament, of course, the NBA playoffs are longer, but especially dealing with the one and done situation now with these young kids and trying to get them to focus when their mind's already focused on going pro, are we giving college coaches enough respect?
Maybe not. I'm having a beer overflow right now, which is not good.
Yeah,
but maybe we're not. I think there are some aspects to college that are more difficult than the NBA and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like I said, with college, you're dealing with kids, so it's hard to keep them focused. It's hard to keep them on track. It's hard to get them to play hard every game, practice hard every game. You know what I'm saying? And then with the NBA, sometimes it's hard to get the same shit out of guys making 10 times more money than you. And can tell you to fuck off, and you could be gone next week, and they'll still be there.
Right.
So it's hard. It's hard for both of them. But you might be onto something, man, about the college coaches not getting enough respect, especially the upper echelon ones. I mean, I give Roy Williams hella credit because he used to take a lot of flack for not winning shit, and Roy has been solid. And we ain't got a damn one and done. Nasir and Kobe this year.
I'm trying to think last time we had one. Tony Bradley, and that don't really count to me because he wasn't highly recruited.
Exactly.
Marvin Williams was our last one.
And he came off the bench. That was 2005 when we won.
Maybe it was Brandon. Did Brandon come after him?
Brandon Wright was after him. Yeah, he was the one. But they weren't highly recruited guys who you knew were not going to be there. Those guys. It was really a surprise that they left. But especially here lately, Roy been getting it done with teams, building teams, keeping guys there 3 and 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think coaches like Roy get enough respect, honestly.
It had me thinking when I was watching the games on Sunday, like, man, this shit is really difficult for them. You flipping classes every year in some cases because these cats are leaving, and you can't blame the kids for going. You can't. And you're trying to keep somebody focused when they know they're going to be a millionaire in June on playing defense and doing it the right way.
Right.
In a one-game elimination tournament. That's pretty difficult, when you think about it that way.
On top of trying to keep all those grades falsified, because them boys ain't going to class.
Exactly. So, shout out to the college coaches.
When is the 30 for 30? When is the 30 for 30 going to come out after all these tutors and these test takers at these schools come out and get together and do a documentary? I want to see that.
I'm just glad that the Carolina girls took the fall for us. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
All right. Nasir Little and Kobe White are leaving. I feel a type of way, but I shouldn't because that's selfish. Kobe balled. Kobe ball.
I
I kind of felt like we had a chance with him. he was talking about after the game, like, you know, we're gonna work hard, come back. I was like, oh shit.
Right. Well, right. Exactly. You know, I saw that same interview in the locker room. I was like, okay, maybe. Compared to Zion's after game interview, he's like, you know, probably this team won't be playing together no more. You know, that's basically what he said.
So
But
that was what, Friday he said that, and then today, wah.
yeah, you know,
Can't blame them. The money's out there. If they talking about you in the lottery, I ain't mad at you.
like top 10. I mean, he's passed in a lot of the mocks and things I'm seeing. He's passed where Nasir Little came into the season at. You know,
Right.
from what I'm seeing now, unless, you know, and things are going to change when they go to these pre-draft camps to start playing against each other and working out. You know, things will change up a little bit. But right now, they got Nasir outside of the lottery in a lot of cases.
I would have brought my ass back. You see how many times Auburn was packing his shit?
I mean, you know, I'll give him a pass though. I mean, coming off the flu, you can tell, you know, he ain't had no lift, none of that. You know, it's hard to come off 100+ degree temperature, and, you know, and get out there and play your best ball.
Because they threw his shit like 4 times in that game on Friday.
They was beating his shit like they be beating Luke May shit the whole time Luke May been there.
Hey, Luke gonna be balling at the LA Fitness in Charlotte though.
Shout out, man. Shout out to Luke, man. Shout out to Luke, man. You was a solid 4-year starter. You a senior. You gone. You know, you came up in some very big moments for us. You got us to that one Final Four on the last time. You beat Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know, you got a title. So, man, we definitely salute and appreciate you. Same thing with Cam Johnson, man. You was only there 2 years. You know, sometimes you played a little soft and a little scared to me, but this year you was on your shit. You know, who else leaving? Kenny Williams. Yeah. Kenny Williams, I think he's gone.
Is 7th gone? Yeah, it sounds like he's been there forever.
Oh, God, man. I want him to be gone, but no, he still has more time to be there. That might be the most hype recruit we've ever had who was just flailed.
Nothing for us.
He can't and won't shoot the ball. He is Ben Simmons when it comes to shooting the ball.
Yeah, Ben Simmons.
All right.
We got the 25th ranked class. My only concern, I was on Twitter on Friday, and, you know, you Carolina fans, shame on you for the shit you said about Coach Roy. Yeah, he fucked up in that game on Friday, but I'm gonna give him a pass in this regard. You can't coach effort, B. Them dudes was lethargic from the start of the game. I mean, it was no energy, none. Now, I saw you on Twitter. You was like, them substitutions was trash. They were.
Yeah, that was the only thing I gave him flack for, is because, you know, we were pretty much battling back that whole second half behind the 8 ball.
We got down to like 7. We were right.
We got it down to like 7 with like 4 or 5 minutes left, and Kobe was he had a lineup in of like 7th Woods, Brandon Robinson, Garrison,
big man,
and 2 other non-scorers. I'm like, where's the offense gonna come from? We didn't got the lead down to 7. At this point, man, you got to ride the horses. You know what I'm saying, to try to close this game out. That was the only thing I didn't care for. What he did Friday. That's why I gave
you on that. I was 100% with you on that. But these cats talking about he need to be on the hot seat. He need to go. Hey, man, we had the NCAA on our ass, what, for 3 years, give or take?
Yeah. And
got a title out of it, and a couple of Sweet 16s, a couple of Final Fours. Man, come on.
Roy Williams, and I ain't saying he a better coach than Dean Smith, but he got more titles at UNC than Dean Smith.
He should have 5. He should.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. In the 2000s, we've been champions multiple times, and if we guard the trailer, I'm not gonna go there. But whatever, man. Keep it moving.
Let's move on. So I guess my only other concern is, who do you think our head recruiter is?
Hubert Davis.
Hubert Davis, you think?
It's him. He's the number one. He's the number one on the bench. It's him. Now with this 25th ranked class, we in trouble.
Now I know the guy who won the MVP of the McDonald's game. We're right there as far as in his top two teams, and we need a point guard at this point. We don't have a point guard.
We may have one coming. Greg Anthony's son.
Okay.
He hasn't committed yet. There's been rumors that he was waiting to see what Kobe was going to do.
Oh.
But we are in play for him, and hopefully we get him. He's supposed to be nice. So we'll see how that goes. But as far as big things, we don't have them. So we're gonna have to do another good coaching job come next year.
Let me ask you a stupid question before we get up out of here with this part. Kobe didn't hire no agent, did he?
I was looking. I don't think so. I don't know.
You think he's going to though?
I'm pretty sure he will.
I was hoping he would hire an agent because he might come back.
I'm pretty sure he will. Like I said, I was holding out that little bit of hope, especially after the interview that he gave after the game, and he just kind of seemed like a cat that didn't want to go out the way that they went out.
Yeah.
We knew LeSire was gone. He been talking about being a lottery pick. They've been talking about him being a lottery pick since he came in. He was actually the MVP of the McDonald's game last year. Not RJ Barrett, not Zion, not Cam, not any other cat. So we knew he was pretty much gone. But I had a little bit of hope for Kobe, but I'm not sure if he hired an agent or not. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, he probably will. All right, we're coming up off college basketball. See the draft lottery odds. Knicks are right there. Would you rather go to Phoenix or Cleveland right now? Because both of those organizations are trash.
Depends on what kind of. If you a wing, I do not want to go to Phoenix because you ain't getting no shots as long as Devin Booker there.
Man, does he not get his shots up, bro? Does he not? Man. And I should raise a glass again to you on that one because you've been telling me for the last couple of weeks. I'm sitting there like, man, they might be all right, man. This Phoenix, you like, dog, they suck. The organization's trash. And then that article came out on ESPN. I was like, oh shit, he was right. It's
man,
like
they are horrible, man. They are horrible. But I mean, you got Phoenix front office is trash, or would you rather go play for Dan Gilbert? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a no-win situation.
and the funny thing is, these fans are excited. Like, yeah, we're about to get Zion. Y'all gonna have him in that first contract because they always take the first deal, and you can't blame them because that's too much money not to take that first deal. But don't get comfortable. They'll leave.
At some point, somebody is going to flip the script and change that. Somebody always is the trendsetter. Somebody will do it. Somebody will do it. If you lose enough, you'll give up that extra year, that extra money, especially in your early mid-20s. You can make that money back tenfold. Zion about to walk into a $100 million shoe contract.
Shit, Shaq was on TV saying that Anthony Davis was crazy as hell not to take that 200-something that New Orleans had for him. He's like,
Shaq is old school, and he's in this. Well, I can't say he in the not switching teams thing because he switched teams more than any damn body.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, Shaq's just looking at the money.
I want two things at the same time, and it's almost like impossible. I want to win, and I want the bag. That don't really happen both ways, do it?
It can if you don't want the max bag. If you're willing to take a little bit less, then I'd rather have a winning situation. Now, if I won a title already or two, then I'm gonna go get my cash. Backing up a second, we're talking about Phoenix and the Cavs being trash. Which one would you rather go to? The Knicks ain't that much better off.
No, they're not. And
I mean, player wise, they probably are. But as far as from the top down, from Dolan down, I don't know.
I'm a Knicks fan, and I'm not 100% convinced we're gonna get anybody because people ain't talking about it. Brooklyn has money for two max players themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather go to Brooklyn.
I mean, Brooklyn has a better team. They've got money.
And they got
money. What I think will be maybe the deciding factor when it comes to the Knicks, if they get this number one pick and if they got Zion.
Yeah, if that happens. I mean, but essentially, I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks. We're going to know a lot about what's going to happen in free agency around the middle of May when they have the draft lottery. Yeah. If the Knicks are sitting there at 1 with him, that changes everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I mean, you see this mock draft. A lot of these cats made themselves some money. All I'm saying with this is I want this shit to keep the same energy. I want the Hawks to have 2 in the top 10. I need that to happen. I need it.
No, we'll have that, man. As long as Dallas don't look up and get into the top 5, and their pick falls in the top 5, we got their pick. The ideal scenario for me is for the Hawks because, I mean, We got a 10.5% chance for the number one pick, and the top three teams got a 14% chance. That's not that much big of a difference.
That's right there, cuz.
Yeah, people got to realize that the draft lottery this year, and we're gonna see how it goes. This is the first year. The rules ain't the same like it's always been. The worst team don't have the most ping pong balls, so the odds are a little bit better for all of the teams. They did this to try to tone down some of the tanking. So my ideal scenario was the Hawks find a way. We sneak in there, we get that number one pick, and Dallas's pick falls just outside of the top 5 at number 6. So we have 1 and 6. If we get the first and the second pick, and we can add Zion and a Cam Reddish or Culver to, and I prefer Culver because I like his defense.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? With John Collins and Trae Young, look out.
Cause we've been talking about this since we were ninth grade. The Hawks getting a wing, and we old now.
No, we 40. The best wing we done had is Joe Johnson.
Take that back. Steve Smith was better.
That was like, what, 98?
Wow. Somewhere around there.
95?
We traded Kevin Willis for him. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. So, outside of Steve Smith and Joe Johnson, we've been searching for a wing for a long time.
That's it. So we're going to see what happens with that. Man, Danny Ainge. You see these damn picks he got?
No, I didn't even get a chance to look at all of them. What he got? What he working with?
Memphis is sitting there with an 8.3% chance. That pick is going to Boston. They have 4 first-round picks this year. 4.
How many in the lottery, though?
They're going to have Memphis in the lottery. Okay. Sacramento should be right outside of it. And then them other 2. That might get them Anthony Davis.
Yeah, it could.
And the funny thing about it, if I'm him, if Kyrie says he's going to stay, LeBron 34, about to be 35.
Before we go, talking about Anthony Davis, we still don't know if he really wants to be in Boston.
Well, he don't want to be there. Now, if I'm Danny, I wouldn't do that shit unless I knew off top.
You said Danny ain't trading that collateral unless he know that he's going to stay. I heard, I forget who it was, but they made a very good point. Matter of fact, I think it was Max Kellerman. It was one day I was off and I just happened to be watching First Take because there was nothing else to do.
And that dude was screaming on that show, wasn't he? I can't stand that shit, B.
I can't stand that shit either, but I put out a tweet about an hour or two ago. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith. They about to pay that man $10 million a year. He's going to be the highest paid person.
I heard
ESPN.
$10 million?
So that motherfucking yelling has paid off. Hey, salute to you, brother.
Salute.
But Matt, hell no, I can't hate on that at all. $10 million a year to yell on the air about sports?
Hey, we get along in most cases. They paid me $10 million. I'm going to disagree with everything you say.
Everything.
The sky is purple every day, cuz.
Shit. And if you smoke the right thing, the shit actually will be purple. But
we're getting off the rails.
Hey, that's what we do here. It wouldn't be no other way. But Max Kellerman made a good point. He says, if I'm LeBron, he know he on the back end. This is the first year he was hurt. Hey, who knows what's going to happen after this year? And we've been seeing him and Kyrie kind of bending the fences all year.
Yeah.
He said, hey, humble yourself. Call Kyrie like, look, bro.
I need you.
You can in so many words say you need me too. But, we was the best when we did this shit together.
I want that to happen. I really do.
You know what I'm saying?
I want these cats to be that new Shaq and Kobe. Because we both know Shaq and them left, 3 on the table, give or take?
At least 3 titles on the table.
At least.
At least. Laker fans, Kobe fans, y'all talk about Kobe getting left out of the greatest of all time conversation. If he got them other 3 titles, at least 3. Hey,
all he got was 1, really, because he got 2 without him. If he got that 1.
Well, see, that's the thing. If him and Shaq stay together,
they might have got
more, then the other titles that he got with Powell, them players maybe never come. It's a whole, different.
True.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he's definitely right up there then if he got 6 or 7 titles at that point. But another thing, Kyrie, he's into the movies. You know what I'm saying?
Go to LA.
He's in there. And then LeBron can pitch him hey, I'm about to be out of here in a few years. This could be your team. This could be your city. You
I
know?
know I said this last week on the show, but I kind of feel like it's relevant again now. We talking like this dude is like finished. He averaged 28, 8, and 8 this year. This shit is ridiculous, ain't it?
Man, Thanos will be back next year.
We're talking about his demise, and he's at 28, 8, and 8. So
That's
what are you
how
gonna drop to? 25, 5, and 5?
Right. Right.
He gonna be 40. What, 18, 6, and 6? Hey man, this is some shit we ain't never seen before.
Yeah.
And think about it. He ain't never had a April, May off.
Yeah.
Never.
He not playing in the World Championships or whatever it is. He's like, I'm not doing no Olympic basketball this year. And they already shut him down this year. So he ain't gonna play no meaningful basketball again until October. That's a lot of time to get right and load back up. But
Absolutely. All right, so we can come off that lottery stuff.
Enough about losers. Sorry, LeBron, you're a loser this year. We ain't got much for you right now.
Enjoy your losses. All right, you see the standings. Now, you hit me with some real shit earlier today that I wasn't even looking at in regards to Denver and how close Houston was to them. But if you look at the standings, Portland right there too.
Yeah, because I think Portland's only a half game back from Houston. So that means they're only 2 back from Denver. Now, Denver actually plays Portland back to back. Yeah, they play them back to back. And matter of fact, Denver has they had a game tonight against the Spurs, which is the second half of a back to back because they played last night. I think it's the Spurs that they play. They play somebody tonight.
Who gets that second seed, Doug?
I don't like the look of it for Denver right now. They've lost 3 out of the last 5 games. I think the loss last night pretty much sealed the number 1 seed up for Golden State. It's going to be hard for Denver to make up 2 games with the schedule that they have with like 5 games left. So Golden State is pretty much locked into the 1. If
they
Denver
scared of them, don't they?
Man, I knew Golden State was going to come out last night. Now I really expected a blowout, but when they play Denver, they lock in. They want to let them boys know, hey, okay, you've been winning games, you got the number 1 seed, you right there, but you ain't on our level.
I think Dame blew a lot of people out over the last couple of weeks, but 2 of them I recall are Denver. Mm-hmm. They kick their ass every time they play them now.
Certain games they lock in for.
Yes.
And, yeah. So the thing that I'm concerned about Denver, and this is any young team, I stick with the percentages of when you get to the playoffs, because we know it's a different game, it's played different. I stick to the script of young teams, they got to learn how to win in the playoffs. They got to get their heart broken, they got to lose before they can actually get over that hump. Denver they almost made the playoffs last year, but they didn't make it. So this is going to be their first run. And if after the season that they've had, flirting with that number 1 seed, if they fall back to a 3 or maybe a 4 seed, depending on how those 2 games go with Portland, I think that's going to be crushing for their confidence going into the playoffs. You're going to be looking at a second-round matchup more than likely going into Houston.
You know what can save them, right?
What's that?
Put that boy Isaiah back in the rotation.
I was about to say, I knew you was going to go with an Isaiah or a Paul Millsap joke. One of the 2.
Sap ain't going to save shit. Shout out. Me raise a glass to the Hawks, but not giving him that bread when he wanted it. Shout out to you.
Let him and Al Horford walk.
Yeah. Hey, y'all got a counter offer? No.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm with you on that though, because again, we're old school in that regard. Most teams that win, you got to get your heart broke. Mm-hmm. In most cases. So, Denver's getting Michael Porter back next year. That's basically a lottery pick that's been sitting there. I sent you Millsap's contract this morning. $30 million. But nobody else is out there. So maybe they'll keep him for 1 more year to try to make a run again. But, they're young.
I felt what you were saying about Murray. They got to pay him. But as I looked at it, Murray don't fall off, or his new money won't kick in until after Millsap's last year. Yeah. So the team, it's a team option. And I told you this earlier this morning, but people, y'all informed me, vets don't usually let the team get that option on the last year of the contract. That's usually a player option.
He had a 4-year deal at $30 million a year. He done seen some bread.
Yeah.
So I couldn't blame him in that regard, because that's like real bread over 3 years. So
yeah. I just wouldn't have gave the team the control over that last 30.
most people don't do that. Not Vince, like you said. You're 100 on that. But in his case, I mean, shit. If we didn't even pick up the phone to say we had a counter offer,
he didn't have that negotiating power.
He had that power. So
you know when Paul Millsap lost all his negotiating power?
You know when?
Those Eastern Conference Finals or those second round playoff matchups with Cleveland, where Brown standing out there at midcourt dribbling and laughing at him. Yeah, that's when he lost his negotiating.
Paul Millsap getting in a defensive stance in front of LeBron James. Come on, man. Come on. All right.
Hey man, he had heart. He tried.
Yeah, he tried. All right, we got to speed this thing on up. I'm concerned about OKC going into the playoffs. Shout out to Russell for the 2020-21 game, but everybody's sitting there pointing at Russ. Do you see the notes, right? Why they shitting on Russ's shooting percentage like Paul George's percentage is that much higher?
Right. I mean, outside of the 3-point percentage, then maybe that's it. Because we know Russell's streaky on the three. He never been
that way. So
efficient 3-point shooter. So like you were saying, as long as Russell keep his shots at a minimum and he just out there chucking, and he's somewhat efficient, I think they'll be fine. I've always been, and this is when this goes back to when KD was there. To me, Russell, one of them cats, he's not gonna wait for you to play to his level. If you're standing around or you bullshitting, fuck it, I'm taking the shot.
That's it.
And, and that equates for a lot of his quote unquote bad shot taking or whatever. You know what I'm saying, whatever you want to call it. But everybody's talking about Russ.
I'm a Russell fan. Sometimes I be sitting there watching them on TV. I be like, man, why Russell? Yeah. Why are you shooting this shit? Why?
But then you have games like last night, and you say, how the fuck does a point guard get 20 boards and 20 assists?
How? But
how's that?
I want the narrative to change, because Russell is gonna do what Russell do, but I'm looking for playoff P. I'm standing on the porch with the light on. I'm waiting on him. I'm looking for him. Is that his car? Is that P? Is that P? No, that's not P.
Those of y'all listening on the podcast, you can't see me right now. But if you see us on YouTube, if you see him, point him out. Because that is the key, I think, to OKC's playoff run. I think they play good defense as a team. I love to pick up a Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench for them. I like that.
Like the Morris boy. He plays hard. Last year, everybody blamed Melo and Russ. Where the fuck was P? Where was he?
Yeah.
I know where he was. Joe Ingles was kicking his ass. That's where he was.
Joe Ingles was busting his ass.
All in his ass, cuz. And they paid him. So, I need to see playoff P. That's what I need to see. So
absolutely. Especially off of this year. A lot of people had him in the MVP discussion before Giannis and Harden kind of separated themselves from the rest of the pack. But yeah, Paul George got to show up in the playoffs. What those city girls say? Period.
That's it. All right, we can leave this last one, number 3. We can talk about that next week when the playoffs are set. I like what you were saying though in regards to Utah earlier today. Like, would you rather drop to avoid Houston? I kind of would.
Yeah, I would. I would rather play Portland right now just because you don't know. I haven't watched Portland since the Jokic injury, but I think that would hurt them, especially on the inside.
Yeah.
I would think that would be a better matchup for Utah than going up against Houston in the first round.
Absolutely. Okay, we got that. KP's case. In case you people didn't know, a lady said that KP tore his ACL, and then he invited a chick over and went animal thug and raped her. Now, we were talking on Sunday, I believe, and I was like, if she got text messages, he's done. Well, apparently she do. So, and she been texting the Knicks brass and emailing them as well. But here's the kicker in regards to this whole situation. They didn't mention the word rape in regards to the trade to Dallas. Dallas is like, hey, they ain't say shit about a rape. They just said it was a pending situation. Well, tough break.
Dallas.
Shouldn't they have their own people to look into that shit soon as they found out it was a legal situation?
With a woman?
Right.
in this climate, in this day and age, and you didn't do your due diligence on that?
Right.
Okay.
Right. You know, of course we can go back and forth with the he said, she said. I'm gonna tell you this much. If I'm KP, I'm gonna go back to Latarvia, wherever he is, until this shit freeze over. I ain't staying here for y'all to come lock me up.
Hey man, like I feel you, but
You know, we can talk about this via Skype, FaceTime when I'm over there. But
and like you said, man, if she got text messages, well, he's supposed. This apparently is all really about this $68,000 that he promised to pay off her brother's college tuition or whatever.
Why would he not do that?
If you know you raped somebody, $68,000 you're getting off light, homie. That's a question.
I'm about to ask you. Can you really rape a chick with a tore ACL?
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. I forget rape. I'm not trying to get no ass after 2 hours after tearing my ACL. I'm sorry.
That shit hurts really bad.
I'm just not. I'm not.
And people before any woman come at us, we're not laughing about a rape. We're just saying,
no, not at all. Not at all.
I just don't understand how you can rape a chick with your knee ligaments ripped in half. I mean, how many positions are you really getting out of this with your knee ligaments torn in half? How?
I don't see the pleasure in it. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that.
We're probably gonna get a text from baby sister tomorrow. But it's
okay. Yeah, probably so. What's up, sis?
I'm a duck it. So.
You might have to block her.
I'm a duck it. So
she gonna come. She gonna
yeah,
come. We don't mean no harm. We don't mean no harm. You know we ignorant.
Yeah. Let's talk about this football real quick.
All right, before we get up out of here.
Yeah, this funny money. The AAF. It shouldn't be a surprise because old boy was talking this shit last week. You know, the dude from the Carolina Hurricanes who said, hey, something need to shake. Pull my bread out the situation. Why did this work? The games were entertaining. The guys were playing hard. Why didn't this work?
If you don't have the money, then it's going to be a problem. And it should have been a red flag when they let this dude come in, a little over a month ago, roughly, maybe just a month ago. It was right when the season started. A couple weeks after the season started, they couldn't make payroll.
You know, if somebody call you to actually borrow some money, a dub ain't bad. Somebody come at you like, look, I need $1,000 by Friday. That's a bit different. They came to him needing real money quickly.
$250 million.
Quickly.
Yeah.
To make payroll. That's a bit different.
And I don't know whether he automatically became head of the board or whatever because he was the highest investor, you know, as far as the money that he put in, or did they need that money that bad? It was like, look, if you do it, we'll make you head. Because
if I got $250, I'm only coming in charge. That's it.
And he didn't wait long. He said he already lost $70 million. He said, I'm pulling out. Now
he lost $70 million. I ain't even hear that. Real shit.
Yeah, they say he lost $70 million already.
Shit.
Yeah. So if I gave you $250 a month ago and we already lost 70, yeah, we got a problem on our hands.
I would have got out last week. $70 million? Shit.
Yeah. Now,
you know who the winner in this situation is, right?
Who's that?
Vince McMahon. With the XFL next year.
Now, what's funny about that is yesterday, because the AAF shit dropped Monday, right? Yeah. Yesterday came out that Vince McMahon sold an additional $250 million in WWE stock to go to make sure that he's got enough money to fund his league.
Now, I want to say he sold a good bit already. So he sold another $250?
Another $250 on top of all the other hundreds of millions that he already put before. You know, he tried this football thing before and it went under because of money.
It didn't work well. Yeah. I do want a He Hate Me jersey, though, at some point. I got to find it.
You know, so we'll see how they go. But, Tom Condon, I think. No, not Tom Condon. That's the agent.
Bill Polian.
No, not Bill Polian. The dude that dropped the 250, the Hurricanes owner. What's his name?
Yeah, him.
Conundon, something like that.
Yeah.
But there's word out there. There's supposed to be some type of new technology or app or something that was supposed to come out with this league, they're saying that he really only put his money in to get the technology or whatever going. And people, I'm sorry, I'm missing details, but I'm just trying to paraphrase everything. That now that he's got the funding or whatever for the technology or this app or whatever, that's why he's now pulling out. And he never had any real intentions from the start of seeing this thing out long term. And that's why Ebersol and Bill Polian are pissed off. Because
that makes sense.
they don't feel that he was in it 100% from the start.
It wasn't nobody in them damn stands. But I was thinking about it. Like, Puffy wanted to buy a team, right? That would have cost him, what, $2 billion, give or take? He can come in and control this whole league. What, about $400 million, give or take? Control the whole league.
Puffy not running that football league.
Yeah. But I hate to see this shit. And I kind of thought NFL would have got behind it because they do need a minor league. A lot of these cats are not getting reps and getting better. So I kind of thought this would have worked, but, you know.
And that's another piece, too, that Conundrum is saying that he's pulling out, or he's trying to say he's pulling out because the NFL refuses to give them access to players under futures contracts or people on the practice squad or whatever.
I didn't understand that part.
That was never supposed to be a part of it to begin with.
Right.
You know, so it's a lot still up in the air, but right now.
I ain't mad at him at this point. That shit you just told me, he lost $70 million, I ain't mad. I'm out. So in that regard.
But you know, but if I'm Bill Polian and these other cats, if what they're saying is true, that he wasn't really in it from the jump, that he just really used this to get what he wanted for something else, then I see them being mad. I can see them being pissed off about it as well. But at the end of the day, if you can't make payroll week 1,
fold.
What we talking about?
Absolutely.
And when you did you see Johnny Manziel? Johnny Manziel came out and tweeted to all the players. He said that the check that y'all just got, or the check that they get this week, whenever they get paid, make sure you hold on to it, because that's going to be the last check you see. And suing or doing whatever is probably not going to help us. We're not getting the rest of our bread. So you better make use of that last check you just got.
It's like he's telling the truth, but
he is. But
Johnny not seeing real money though, so he's
Johnny come from oil money, so he can say.
And in that Cleveland deal, I mean, he got money out of that too.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem money, so what else? We'll see what happens. Let's run through these last few. Today is April 3rd, 2019. 12 days from now, Russell Wilson says he wants to be the highest paid player in the NFL, or he's not negotiating any further. 12 days.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting because Seattle tends to not do contract extensions until after free agency and after the draft.
They got $12 million in cap space right now.
Yeah, they don't got any bread.
No.
The last contract they did with him, he set a similar deadline, but it was more toward training camp.
Somewhere around there.
And it took him to the last minute to get that deal done, if I remember correctly. So, little Rusty setting this little deadline, I think it's all arbitrary. They'll get it done.
Funny, really.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, that's like playing spades because they can franchise him, right?
2 years.
Right. So, I mean, that's like if I'm Seattle, I'm sitting back there holding that big joker. I'm just holding it. Yeah. So, you talk that shit all you want to. You ain't missing no check. Yeah. So,
Exactly.
We'll see with that. Ben Roethlisberger. I tried to stay away from Pittsburgh, but I'm going to give Ben a shout out on this one. Ben said he's contemplating ending the radio show. Hey, if there's never a time to do it, you do it after you got rid of the league's best wide receiver and running back. That's the time to do it.
Dumbass. Or how about just keep your radio show, but don't throw your fucking players under the bus on it?
How about it? How about it? That's all we got for Pittsburgh this week. Shout out to Sean Payton. I like what he said about these coaching hires. We ain't got to go into all these quotes, but basically he's saying y'all need to watch for the hook. Everybody ain't Sean McVay. And, y'all turning y'all back on defensive coaches, and we're going to see. He said he's looking forward to playing these coaches. New Orleans feels like their old one. Well, really two, if you're you're talking to them. But ain't no guarantee they would have won either one of them Super Bowls the last 2 years if they would have got there. Ain't no guarantee.
Yeah. It's really not. And speaking of Sean Payton, and I'm really piggybacking on what I heard somebody else say or report.
Yeah.
Because did you see? I'm pretty sure you saw it. Mike McCarthy coming out saying he didn't care for the way that he was fired.
That was some sucker shit,
in Green Bay. But some people made the point like, look, motherfucker, you had Aaron Rodgers all them years. With no defense, no offensive line, no run game, all that shit, and you got the one Super Bowl. Same thing with Sean Payton. As good of a coach as he is, you got Drew Brees and you got one. You've been to one. So you can make, you can make this.
Football is crazy because that's the only sport to where that title trumps everything.
Yeah.
It's you need a lot of things to go right in the NFL to win a Super Bowl. A lot of things. Mike McCarthy, yeah, he had Aaron Rodgers, but shit, he wasn't shopping for the groceries. He wasn't. You had old man, what was that dude's name? Ted Thompson. We ain't messing with no free agents. We got enough in-house. Word.
And in some cases they did. Who knows what would have happened that year that Seattle won the Super Bowl. They had Seattle beat if they just recovered an onside kicker, but he do his fucking job.
That's true. And then Aaron kept on tearing his collarbone. That's what, two out of 3 years.
Yeah, that was 2 years down the drain there. So, shit happens. Shit happens in football.
All right. I think that's all we got.
All right, that's good, man. You graded out good, homie. Graded out good. Good shit. Good people, we appreciate y'all tuning in to us as always. Don't forget to watch, hit the subscribe button as usual when you're watching us on YouTube. Also hit the share button. And then when you listen to us on the podcast platform, whether it be Apple iTunes or Spreaker, continue to share and like those episodes as well. Leave us some comments. Shout out to that boy Ross. Shout out to that boy
Lord Baltimore. The homie turns 40 this weekend. Shout out to him.
Tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Happy birthday, boy. We'll get up this weekend. We'll figure out something to do. But before we get up out of here, Uncle Hank, you know the routine. Drop your info. Tell these people where to reach you at on social media.
At Rike6000. Holla at me. I talk sports.
All right. You can find me at Diego Barish. I'm on Twitter. Did you make that one?
I ain't make that one.
You didn't make that one. All right. But that's all good. We're going to holler at y'all next week. Y'all be easy. Final Four this weekend. Y'all check that out. That's it. Y'all be easy, man. We be out of here. Be good. Peace.